Hey my friend, today I'm gonna show you how to get started playing ambient guitar soundscapes. So you've got two ends of the spectrum when you're playing ambient guitar. You have the fully atmospheric, fully ambient soundscape side, and you have the more melodic side. And in my case, I'm pretty close to the melodic side, but I like a good soundscape from time to time. So I'm gonna show you the basics on how to play more atmospheric ambient guitar music. So don't get intimidated by my whole pedal board. In fact, you only need one pedal to pull that off, and it's a good reverb with a shimmer mode on it. So I'm going to use the Strymon Big Sky, but that can be another pedal that has shimmer. But the pedal needs to have very long decays and can go fully wet signal. So for the fully wet signal, if you don't know how to find out your pedal has that, I have a full lesson on it if you want to catch that. But what's the most important is that you have really, really long decays. Most reverb pedal can do 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds of decays or even milliseconds of decays, and that's not enough. That's not enough. We want a very, very long signal. So on my Big Sky right now, I'm gonna put the decay all the way up, and we have more than 20 seconds. So that's exactly what we want. We're gonna put the mix all the way up, and then we're gonna add an octave up and an octave down on our signal right here to make sure that our guitar is gonna sound super, super big. So right here, the first shift is +1 octave, and the second shift is -1 octave. And then in my case, if you have a tone knob, I'm putting it fairly dark because shimmer can be really piercing, and I don't like that. And that's pretty much it for that. So what it's gonna do, if you play just one note on the guitar, that's gonna sound like this. Super long sustain and really big note. But now the problem is that even if we have 20 seconds of decay, it eventually is going to fade out. It eventually is going to die. So the first thing that you can do is to freeze the sound if you have that function. So on the Strymon Big Sky, I can do that by pressing on the foot switch of the bank that I have chosen. So if I play a chord, let's say, I can just push it and freeze it. So that's one way to do it, but it sounds a bit boring. It sounds a bit stale, like it needs some more movement into it. So you could use a modulation knob if you have one, but let's say that you don't have a freeze function and you don't have a modulation knob and you just want your soundscape to sound more alive. What we're gonna do is to use some techniques that I use for drones also. So I'm gonna pick the same chord. Let's say I'm gonna pick this A sus2. So I'm not playing the 6th string. I'm muting it with my thumb on top. Then I play the open 5th, the 2nd fret on the 4th, the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and the open 2nd and 1st. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use finger picking and to play the notes of this chord as arpeggios as consistently as I can. So most of the times I'm going to play a pattern like this with finger picking. Right? And then I'm gonna play as consistently, as quietly, and as fast as I can. You want to barely touch the strings like this. And then faster. The faster you can get, the more consistent it's gonna sound. And if I'm playing this technique with our little shimmer patch, it's gonna sound like this. So you're hearing it has more movement inside the soundscape. It doesn't sound like this. right? It has more movement. What you can do after that, if you want, is to loop it. So play super consistently and start a loop and close it. And if you're hearing a little cut in your loop, that is normal because you cannot play exactly the same thing when you have your drone. So if you want to get rid of the little cut, you could play another shape of the same chord you were playing and come in overdub mode as soon as you close the loop, and that's going to mask that little gap or that little cut right here. So I could choose, let's say, another shape of an A sus2 like this. So it's the same than this, but higher on the fretboard. And I'm gonna use the same technique, super light finger picking. When I put the reverb on. So I'm gonna overdub that on top of this. So now we have a super cool soundscape, and it distracted us from the little gap in the loop. So what we can do after that is to kind of improvise in a scale to add more little tension notes and little colors in our soundscape. So since I chose a sus2 chord, that chord is not major nor minor. It doesn't have a major or minor quality to it. It's a neutral chord. It means that I could use different types of scales or modes on top of it and create the kind of ambience I want. If you want to know how to use the moods with neutral chords, I have a fairly recent lesson that you could watch after that too. So I'm going to play a little A major scale on the top of the fretboard right here. That's going to go like this. So super simple A major shape. And I'm just gonna improvise through these notes to add them on top of our soundscape to get, like I said, more colors, more movements, more tensions, and that's gonna be more interesting. So I'm just gonna play lightly with these notes like this. With my thumb, so without the reverb, it sounds like this. So it sounds stupid without the reverb, but it's gonna sound good on top of our loop right here. Super cool, and like I said, you can create different moods because we have a neutral chord, so you could play a minor scale if you want. So the little shape for minor is gonna be like this. So you just have to shift one fret. And now that's gonna be a totally different mood once again. And I can alternate between both if I want. Major. Minor. Wow! So I hope that it's going to help you to get started with Soundscapes. Just take one reverb pedal in a shimmer mode, add 1 octave up and 1 octave down, full decay, full mix, and then just play the little technique with finger picking that I showed you with one chord of your choice, and then you can improvise in a scale that works on top of that chord, and you can create beautiful soundscapes with just one reverb pedal. And if you want to go further with me and learn more about creating ambient guitar songs, I have a free course that's called A Beginner's Guide to Ambient Guitar. You can get it, first link in the description box. In that course, I'm showing you which pedals to get according to different budgets. I'm showing you how to create a really good, clean tone with your guitar and your amps, how to play ambient guitar swells, ambient guitar drones, and how to get started with looping with 1 or 2 channels. It's everything you need to start writing your own ambient guitar songs. So you can enroll totally for free. First link in the description box below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, au revoir.